Hello. So, in today's session, we'll be discussing some of the basic elements in Bootstrap. The first one is text color. Now, the Bootstrap 5, that is version 5 and above, now it has some of the contextual classes which can be used for providing a meaningful through color for your text colors, or you can say the fonts. So, some of the colors you can see here, like say we have got text muted. So text hyphen primary, success, info. Now these are all the examples which has been given for when you are using, like say, primary text primary. So you will be getting the text in blue color. When you use success, when you define the class as success, now it will be in light green color. So we have so many different built-in classes are already available for us, in which you can try to use the text color. Similarly, even like say for example, you can use certain opacity also. Say if you add 50% opacity for black or white color, so you can try to add some opacity also related to our text color. Similarly, for background also, now we have some of the classes which is been defined. So when you want to have a foreground, that is text color, the classes you are going to include is text hyphen, whether it is muted, primary, success, info, warning, danger, secondary, etc. Similarly, for background you have to add bg hyphen primary, so that your entire thing will be background will be having different colors. Now let us try to look into some of the examples. Say for example, now we'll try to create a div. Okay, or say for example, we have created a div. In this we'll add a paragraph. Right, so now let us save this file and let us run this file how our paragraph is looking. So now this is the paragraph what we have added. Or you can say for example, okay, instead of this we'll try to add some rows. So let us say this is we added one row in a paragraph, right? Similarly, we'll add say 3 rows we have added, 1, 2 and 3. So these are the 3 rows which we have added. So now, so we'll add certain background color to this. So now to add a background color, so what is the what are the syntax we are having? Say bg primary. If you add class as bg primary, we get this is our color, dark blue color we are going to add. So we'll go to our class, right? So in this class, in this, so we'll say bg primary. We'll add a contextual class and we'll try to see. I can see here we got a primary color. Clear? So even I can add another for the second row. We'll use bg danger. For third row, we'll use bg color as info. So let us save this file. Now you can see different by default background color has been coming. So this is how you try to add. Even you can, as I said, that you can add the text color also, right? So we have got text color also. Say for example, blue color. So we have say the background is blue, or let us say this background red background we have made it to danger, that is red color. Now we want to add a text color on that particular. So we want to add this primary. So just what we are going to do is we'll go to this. So we'll add that class. What is that class? Text hyphen primary. Text hyphen primary. Save this. I can see here. So for this, previously it was black, now we got that primary blue color. So whatever the colors you want, based on the what all the default colors, the text colors are there. Same, it is muted, primary, success, info, warning. Now all these colors can be added. Similarly, background also we can try to add. So many background colors are there in our HTML. So we can contextually, we can add it to your tag color, we can add it to a paragraph. Right now we can even add to a paragraph also. Now say for example, now after this I will have one paragraph. So we will have a lorem. I have set a paragraph to this. So now you can see here down we got one paragraph. Now for this entire paragraph itself, I will add bg. So I will make this bg, add a class equal to bg, let us put info. Right, now when I add class bg info, that means background you are changing it to this info for this entire paragraph. Now you can see here this paragraph entire thing we got it in info color. Right, or you can add, you can, let us say, try to add this particular secondary color. Clear? That is, we'll try to add this bg secondary. So we'll go to this paragraph, instead of info we'll change it to secondary. Now you see, now you got a secondary color. So even if you want for text color also to change, so that also you can try to do. So this is how, so we are trying to work with the colors. Clear? Now similarly we have got image tags, right? So now what does this image tag does? That is the class when you are going to add. So in images, so in Bootstrap 5 we have three classes they are trying to give. The first one is .rounded class. When you just add your image tag source, inside this when you add a class called as a rounded, so now you are going to get this particular effect of your image. So similarly you have got rounded circle, another class is there. If you add rounded circle, so the image is displayed in a circular form, or you can have like a thumbnail also. The third one is the thumbnail. Now a class where the shapes, that is the images what you are going to put, it comes with a small border like structure. So these are the three classes which has been given for images. Clear? And we have got buttons. Alert is also another important element as far as the syllabus. Now just like colors, now you can have an alert messages also. So you can see here these are the so many. So classes it has been defined: alert hyphen success, alert hyphen info, alert hyphen warning. Then we have got danger, primary. Just what you are going to do is just add this class. So you are going to add class equal to alert, and in this alert, so what type of alert you want, whether you want success, when you say alert success, so you are going to get in this light green color, right? Similarly alert hyphen, so you can put info, warning, danger, primary. So you can try to give certain alert classes also in our Bootstrap. Now we have got buttons. Now what does this button says? How many type of buttons? Now here again it provides some of the basic styles for our buttons also. So these are all the different styles which is there. So to add what you are going to add, we just add the class. So you know that normally when you try to type a button, insert a button in our HTML, so you're going to say button type equal to button. Now what you are going to do is just add a class here. These are the Bootstrap classes which have been provided. Now say for example, so I'll just copy this. So I'll go to my HTML. So now I will add one button, right? I will save this. You can see now you got a button in this particular fashion, right? Normally without Bootstrap, if you try to add a button, so say you add a button, see this is how you are going to get. So this is the normal way where you are not used any CSS, just you have got a button. Now you can see the difference. Now this is the button what you are going to get when you are using Bootstrap. So certain default color, you can see the round border, near that border edges little bit rounded. So like this, so the button classes, we have different ways, like say primary, we have got when you add the class as secondary, you will get this type of a button. So or when you are going to add a success, you are going to get this type of buttons. Clear? So now these are some of the examples through which you can try to add different types. You can see success, you get in this is the info type of a button. So all these of the various button classes which are being provided in our Bootstrap. Now button classes, it can be used with your anchor tag or input or just like a button. So even this is another way, right? Input where you are going to say type equal to button and you are going to add, or directly you can add a button tag. Now apart from just creating these type of button, even in Bootstrap you have got button groups also, right? So you can try to group the button. Now say for example, here 3 buttons are being grouped on a single line, right? So what you are going to do, so you have to include a class called as button hyphen group. So you can see here, so class button hyphen group. Now you are making a group of button. So here for example, now 3 buttons have been grouped, like say Apple, Samsung and Sony. Some names have been given and classes they have defined. So first for all, you can see its type is button, because we are going to have a class of button group. So this is very important. You are going to have a button group, so this is required for us. So you are going to have a button group to create a button group. Inside this, so now you added 3 buttons. Now the first one is primary, so this color will be said will be in blue color. Now say for example, you can change that button groups also depending upon contextual colors we can try to add. Now say now we have copied this, the same coding. Now you can see here we got 3 colors here, Apple, Samsung and Sony, all are in same style. Even you can see the H over effect, hover effect also. When you are moving the cursor, you can see dark and light, how these are changing. Without Bootstrap, if you want to have this effect, again lot of coding has to be written, but here by default you are going to get all those things. So you can even change the color also here for this. So instead of button primary, you can go with the button info. Say I will make this Samsung as an info. You can see now this info color we got. So if you want success, right, so if you want green color, now if you change the class from info to, say for third button, I will use success. You can see you got in green color. So like this you can add the buttons also. You can create a group of buttons, and this is the basic dot, that is button hyphen group. So you are going to add the button group, then you start adding your buttons. Now in these buttons also, again you can use all the contextual colors, like say primary, secondary, danger, info, etc. in this. Apart from this, now even you can have a larger button or a smaller button. This is the by default, the button shape or size, width and height, padding and everything are defined by our Bootstrap. Now if you want to have a little bit larger button, then you are going to say button group hyphen LG, so that it comes in the larger button. If you are saying SM, it comes in this particular shape. So you can have buttons vertically also. So these were all the buttons which were horizontally been added. If you want to have a group of button vertically, so button hyphen group, you have to give hyphen vertical. By default it is horizontal when you are just saying button group. If you want a vertical button, so you have to say hyphen vertical, and everything will be the as usual same. Clear? So you have a button and different types of button groups, so horizontal and vertical you are having. Similarly, we have got something called as progress bar also. Now you can try to add progress bar into our HTML wherever is required. So just by having a class called as progress, so just by defining a class called as a progress, so you are going to have the progress bar. So first you are going to add a dot progress class in our container element. Then second, what type? So you want a progress bar. Then we are going to add progress hyphen bar class as a child element, so that now you are going to have this particular effect. And you can give certain styling, you can use CSS styling. So what should be the width, right? So you are going to say what is the width, like say 20%, 50%, 70%, 90%. So how? So you can try to add. So you can increase the height of your progress bar also by specifying the style property, saying height, how much you need, 20 pixel or the height of your progress bar. Even you can give the labels. So you can see here on this progress bar nothing is mentioned, but here you can give certain labels here, how much percent is there. So just by saying in front of the after the style width, if you just add a label here, now this label will be printed on this particular progress bar. So this is a normal or by default. In this progress bar again you can add all your contextual colors. Clear? Whether it is primary, like say for example now you want a green color, so then you can say BG color, that is BG hyphen success. You can apply this color to your progress bar so that it becomes the color which is taken by the success or info, right? So whether it is a primary color, success, info, danger, all this these contextual background colors can be added to your progress bar also. So these are the different examples which you can try. Even you have got striped progress bar, so slightly striped effect you are going to get. So for that you are going to, for your progress bar you add another class called as progress bar striped, so in which you try to get. So you have got animated progress bar also is available for us. You have multiple progress bar. I can see the different colors which you are going to add. So for each and everything, now we have a different classes are there in our Bootstrap, wherein which we will be taking those or adding those classes into our div element or span element, and you are going to create the progress bar, right? So you have to just practice. So you have so many elements. So if you just go to either, so I have just opened here W3 schools, or you go to your Bootstrap itself. You go to your Bootstrap website, right? Once you go to the official website of Bootstrap, you can go click on documents. So when you go to the documents, you can see here, so we have the various, like say, so we were just talking about images. Now what are the images tag and how these images are going to work. So everything you can try to see in your documentation, or you can go with this W3 school. And since we are talking about Bootstrap version 5 and above, so you can go with that Bootstrap version 5 with respect to the documentation. Now another important thing in our Bootstrap is the tables. So as we know that creating a tables is very one of the important things. So we have seen how we are going to create a table in our using our CSS element, where we want to give a lot of effect. Whereas here when we are working with Bootstrap, so we have some of the built-in table is available, type of tables have been available. So what we are supposed to do is that, so you have to include a table class. So you have to say class is equal to table, so that you are going to get a table class. So once you say a table class, so now say for example, now already a file is been, I think I have taken, okay. So now this is our table example. Now let us see what we have written here. So we have taken a div class container. Now inside a container, now you have taken a class, right, div. So now I am going to create a table. So now class is equal to, so we will just include, we will just say what is that table class name, we are just saying table. So once you say class is equal to table, you are taking the by default from our Bootstrap. So now you have table row. You know how we are going to create. So we created a table row with heading, table heading, like the serial number, name and email. So then next row, so table data, we are given some serial number, name and email. So 2-3 entries have been defined for our table. So now if you run this particular program, now you see that this is how by default we got, right? We got a border. So we have taken our style sheet. So where in style sheet, so we have defined a border for this. Now let us see, let us go to this style sheet. Now what we have taken, just a container, and for a container we have defined a border, right? So this is the container where a black color border is coming. Now inside this, now we have defined a table. Now you can see here, here let me remove this. So what we have done here is that we have defined, this is the by default, see this is the by default we got our table. Clear? So now when we are talking about this table, just a table row, serial number, name, email, then the content we have added. So 3 rows have been added for that. Now you have taken the table, class is equal to table. Clear? So now we'll try to see. So this is what the by default we have done. Now we have got striped rows. So if you want like this, highlighted each row to be in different, so then we have got a class called as table striped. So what we are going to do is that now instead of table, class table, so we will just add the class table striped. So we'll save this. Now we'll see something. So we have added table, right? So this is what was my default table. Now we want table striped. So I will add table hyphen class called as striped. So I think let us see some. Okay, so we have just created a normal table here. Okay, I will close this, all those things. So now this is the table. Now we have got the second one is striped table. So now we'll just add this class striped table. Okay, so table class. Now I'm adding another table striped. So when you see this, now you got a striped table. Now you can see here this each line by alternative certain light color background you are going to get. So this is what we can say, it is a striped table. The next type of table effect you can see is border table. Right, you are going to, we'll just add this class border table. So I'll remove this, instead of striped I will make it as border table. Now you can see what is the different effect. Now you can see you got a border inside this. So you can see, you see each border you got. You need not separately write our CSS file, just you are going to add these tables. Now even HOR effect, so you can see you can have an HOR effect over your table just by adding this class called as HOR. So when you just add that class, for our tables, now this is what HOR effect. As I move the mouse pointers on each row, now you can see the effect what you are going to get. So this HOR table also you got, but this table looks like no background color, no heading color. Now for that, now you can try to add the colors also, right? The for your background color or heading, like say for example I will go to my table row. So if here if I add BG primary contextual color, if I add a class, I'll go to this, I'll add a class BG hyphen primary. Now you just see what is the change you are going to get. Table row, right? So I should say here table, I think you made some error. Let us see what, right? So I want one color to my header. So what we will do is we'll just add a class. So here we'll add table hyphen primary. So I'll add a contextual color to this. I can see for this header we got primary. Suppose say that for another thing I need to add a color. So I will go to the next row tr. Now I will add a class equal to table hyphen, let us say danger. If I make it as danger, I can see we got this particular color for each row, and with an HOR effect also. So like this, so you can try to add contextual colors like say primary, success, danger, info also to your rows and columns also. So even we have borderless tables. You can say you add a class table hyphen borderless. So you got, now you see this is another example which has got HOR effect. So you will get this by adding table hyphen HOR effect, that is dark table. This is, so if you need a darker table with table hyphen dark, so everything will be black and white in color. So like this we have different classes have been available for our table. So by using just by class, once you add a class table, you get all the effect by default what is been provided in our bootstrap, and you can try to add the textual color, contextual color to whether it is a background or the for text, so in our table. So this is another very important functionality in our table. Now apart from that, so you have got so many other things are also available, so you have to practice. So we have got something called as utilities also, right, as per our syllabus. Now what are these utilities means? It provides some of the helper classes elements without using any CSS. Like some of the utility classes here is border. So by using the class called as border, now you can add or remove a border for an element. So whenever you add an element, like say spam when you are adding, or a div tag when you are going to add, now you can have some borders. So generally when you just add a class called border, now this is how it looks. So if you add a border hyphen 0, so you are going to give a width for this border 0, so you can see this is the effect. When you say top, so top as 0 means for left, bottom and right you get a thin border, that 0, whereas top you are not going to get. So like this, end 0. So now what is happening? End means what? Right side. Now here border is not there, whereas the remaining three sides you can see a small light color border you are going to get. So this is the effect what you can have. So in which ways you want, just you can add one utility class called as border, and you can increase your border width also. Say for example when you say border 1, so this is what you will be having. If you say border 5 means you will be having border in this color. Now by default it is in gray color. If you want these borders to be in different colors, like say here, so then you are just adding the contextual color, like say primary, secondary, danger, warning. So you will be having in this particular, you can try to have certain borders. You can change the radius also of your borders. Now if you want to add a rounded color, so just you are going to have class equal to rounded. So you can see the different like say rounded means this is of all the 4 columns you are going to get. When you say rounded top, only top it will be rounded, whereas bottom it will be square in this fashion. So you can see the different types classes are available for us, whether you want a start or a circle, right? If you want it in a circle, this is how border you are going to give. So these are some of the utility very few important utility classes are there. Like this we have different types of utility classes are there. Depending upon our requirement you can try to use this. So these are the some of the important. Like this you have got various other functionalities also is there. Now one of the important thing is we will be in the next we'll be talking about is our forms. So how we are going to use these forms and different types of forms we'll be discussing in our next topic. Thank you very much.